On December 1st, 1996, 27-year-old Tracie Andrews was riding in the car with her 25-year-old fiance Lee Harvey after a night at the local pub. Suddenly, a black Ford Sierra started following them, forcing them off the road. After they stopped, two men exited the car and confronted Lee as he also exited the car. The two men suddenly attacked Lee, stabbing him 42 times, leaving him dead on the side of the road. 2 days later, at a press conference for the media, Tracie elaborated on the attack, stating that a fat man with glaring eyes attacked Lee. But as the conference went on, she gave some contradictory information which confused the reporters and police. After the police conducted their investigation, it was discovered that all was not what it seemed. Welcome to History's Biggest Villains. Tracie Andrews was born in Birmingham, England on April 9th, 1969 as the middle child of three siblings. Her home life was fine until her parents divorced in 1975 when she was 6 years old. Their separation greatly affected her mentally. As she grew up, those around her said that she was highly irritable and was also prone to explosive meltdowns. Since she was an attractive girl, she had dreams of becoming a model. Although she sent out several photo albums, she never got any calls, so she was still stuck working her menial job as a barmaid. When she was 21, she gave birth to a daughter, but the relationship with the father dissolved a year later. In October 1994, she began dating Lee Harvey. Multiple ex-boyfriends remembered Tracie as being extremely possessive, not liking them having a social life without her presence. This was no different with Lee. However, the two were moving extremely fast, moving in together after only 3 months and getting engaged after 6. Their relationship was on again, off again, as both were possessive and jealous of each other talking to the opposite sex. The couple would argue for hours on end, sometimes escalating to violence. Tracie was very aggressive and violent to Lee in the months leading up to his murder. She hit Lee on the head with a bottle once, and even brandished a knife on him. Both Tracie and Lee's family and friends were concerned about their toxic relationship. Lee had confided in both his friends and his own mother about Tracie's emotional problems. Police were called to the house in late October 1996, where they discovered that Tracie had bitten Lee on the neck during an argument. A month later, Lee Harvey would be dead. On Sunday, December 1st, 1996, Tracie and Lee were having another day of back and forth arguments. They both decided to go to a local pub that evening to try to cool down. On their way back from the pub, a black Ford Sierra started following them and tried to run them off the road. After they stopped, two men got out of the car and Lee got out to confront them. They then attacked Lee, leaving him dead on the side of the road. Or at least that's what Tracie initially told the police. In reality, Tracie had stabbed Lee 42 times with a penknife while the car was stopped after another argument. Lee's sister would later say that she knew from the second she was told about the murder that Tracie had killed him. 2 days later, on December 3rd, there was a press conference broadcast to the national media where Tracie had an opportunity to speak. At this point, she was viewed as nothing more than the victim of a senseless attack. As she constantly looked down and away from the cameras, she described the attacker as a fat man with staring eyes, who had stabbed Lee after getting out of the passenger seat of a black Ford Sierra. She then made an appeal for this unknown attacker to reveal himself, saying that he wasn't to blame and that he wasn't in trouble. This was strange, since Tracie initially said that the attacker was the aggressor. She then contradicted her original statement, giving different times to the original story, and the police had to stop her. They found it odd that someone who was supposed to be in shock had so much to say. As the police conducted their investigation, they discovered some inconsistencies in Tracie's story. Moments after the car had stopped, a man who lived close by overheard the commotion and walked over to assist. Lee was lying on the ground, while a bruised and bloody Tracie was kneeling down beside him. He ran back to his house and called the police. When they arrived, they found Lee dead on the road, with 42 stab wounds to his back, throat, and chest. The fatal wound was a blow to the neck that severed his carotid artery. There was a huge clump of hair in his hand that was determined to be Tracie's. Pathologists stated that it would have taken a considerable amount of force to rip her hair out, presumably during a physical altercation. They also discovered Lee's Ford Escort, which looked like it had been neatly parked on the side of the road, contrary to Tracie's story that they were run off the road. They also couldn't find any evidence of a second car at the scene. They also couldn't see any tire marks on the road or the grass that indicated that the attacker's car had overtaken Lee's car. A child that lived near the crime scene stated that they clearly heard a man and woman arguing after the car had parked. The breakthrough for this case was when two witnesses came forward, saying that they had seen Lee's white Ford Escort driving past them on the road he was murdered on, but that no car was following it and that no other cars had been seen by them on that lane that evening. Police also discovered a knife-shaped blood stain in Tracie's boot, as well as an impression in the boot that indicated that she had hid the knife in her boot after the murder. At the hospital, she had spent long periods of time in the bathroom, presumably to dispose of the murder weapon. Her jumper was also covered in blood, and Tracie said that the blood came from her hugging Lee to comfort him as he died. But the police determined that the blood was sprayed onto her as Lee's carotid artery was punctured. All of these findings proved that Tracie had fabricated her story and that there was no road rage incident. Even more sinister was the fact that Tracie had held the hands of Lee's mother and sister while she lied to the media on that December 3rd press conference. As the pressure around Tracie increased and the suspicion around her grew, Tracie attempted to commit suicide by overdosing on pills. Yes, because that makes you seem even more innocent. Her suicide attempt, along with the evidence police had gathered, convinced them to arrest her. She was charged with the murder of Lee Harvey on December 19th, 1996, but was released on bail. Tracie appeared at Birmingham Crown Court on July 1st, 1997 on murder charges. She was found guilty on July 29th as the prosecution carefully deconstructed her story, exposing her as a liar. 7 minutes had passed between Lee being killed and his discovery by the occupant of the adjacent cottage, during which time Tracie made no attempts to get help from the houses on the road or from anyone else. Police also stated that she had tried to leave the vehicle at the location where Lee was murdered, and that an argument had then occurred. Many of Harvey's stab wounds were in his back, indicating that she had stabbed him as he ran to the car. Andrews was sentenced to life with a minimum of 14 years. What? Andrews appealed the sentence, claiming that she was the victim of a miscarriage of justice because of damaging publicity surrounding her case. You lied! In October 1998, the appeal was denied. In April 1999, Tracie admitted that she stabbed Lee to death and that her entire story had been made up. Changing her story yet again, Tracie then said that she had stabbed Lee in self-defense. Yes, because you stab somebody in the back in self-defense. Like, do you really think these people are stupid? Despite having a life sentence, Tracie was released in 2011 after only 14 years. She changed her name to Tia Carter and underwent plastic surgery to change the shape of her jaw. This 5,000-pound operation was controversially covered by the National Health Service. In 2017, she married bouncer Phil Goldsworthy, changing her name again to Jenna Stevens Goldsworthy. When plans to release her were announced, a fellow female inmate and former prison lover of Tracie said that she had continued to act possessively and aggressively in relationships even while in prison. She also revealed that Tracie had attacked and strangled her after seeing her speaking with her ex-girlfriend. What really gets me about this whole thing is just the audacity that Tracie has. The fact that you killed your boyfriend, then you lied to the entire media, and then you're mad that the publicity around your case is damaging to you. You fooled the entire nation. You lied. You think people are gonna side with you? Are you serious? Like, what? And the fact that she got out after 14 years and she just gets to live her life under a new identity. Like, and I even read that her new husband even knows about what she did and he doesn't even care. Like, are you kidding me? So you know your woman, your wife killed somebody, but you're still gonna be, I don't know, man, you make her mad, she gonna kill you, man. That's really how it is. Cause like what? She got off so easy. 14 years? Like, why are you gonna give somebody a life sentence if you're gonna parole them after 14 years? What's the point of giving her a life sentence? Cause like that's just false hope at that point. She stabbed him in self-defense, but most of his knife wounds were in the back. Like, I don't know how, like, does she think that people are just stupid and won't, like, critically think? Like, I don't know, man. Like, just the fact that she lied got on national TV and lied. And the fact that she not only lied, it was so obvious, and the fact that people could see right through her immediately is just what makes this even worse. Like, you didn't even try to make it an elaborate lie. You just made up some stupid story. People could see that you were lying from the press conference, if we're being honest. People could tell. I hope you enjoyed this story. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button, turn on my post notifications. Thank you for the support. I appreciate everything. Be safe, stay on the grind, have a great day. I'm out. Peace.